Hello, Manta Rays, and welcome to our new episode of Rays Rap. I'm Alina, the managing editor of The Wave.
And I'm Lola, the editor-in-chief of The Wave. In this episode, we will be talking about something that is very close to our hearts, our love for the art of music.
With this, it was only appropriate to bring in the biggest music lover we know, our beloved art teacher, Mr. Totten.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yes, a lovely Thursday.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us. I know both me and Alina have been looking forward to this all week. Like, we were talking about it the other day. Like, we just love doing podcasts, so especially when there's a fun guest. And we also both share, like, a huge passion for music. You know that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as many people know around our school, you are one of the biggest music lovers on this planet. Can you remember the first time music really spoke to you?
I remember when I was in high school and I was, I was always like a creative soul. And I knew there was something I needed in my life. And I went and got a boom box. I'm dating myself. This is probably 1981-ish, 82, because I graduated high school in 82.
Okay.
And I went and got a boom box because that was all the rage. And the first song I recorded on my boom box with a cassette deck in the boom box was I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett.
Yes.
And the only way we could record then was listening to the radio, and then when you heard the first note of a song, you'd quick push the record button on the cassette.
My dad will always tell me about that when we talk about music.
And so, I was like, okay, I know they're going to play it because it's on heavy rotation. And so I would sit there for, I don't know, probably a couple hours with my fingertip on the record button, ready to push down, and I got it. And I was so excited. And then these are the weird memories a person has, but I was doing the dishes. I grew up with my dad and my little brother. And so my little brother was a year younger than me. And I'm doing the dish. Now, mind you, 3 bachelors living in a house. So we would get to the point where there wasn't a clean dish in the entire house. So there'd be, hundreds.
A recipe for disaster.
Yes. So it was an event to do the dishes because, there'd be 150 dishes to do. And I remember that I was so excited that I had this boom box and I could put headphones on it. So I set up the boom box on the kitchen counter, started to wash the dishes, listening to music, and then walked away from the counter, pulled the boombox off the counter, and it smashed on the kitchen floor.
No! It was broken?
It wasn't, pieces broke off of it, but it still worked.
Well, I mean,
but,
there you go.
But it was an awful moment.
Yeah, I bet.
And so that's one of my earliest memories of how much music meant to me.
Well, I can see that you've had a lot of music in your life, your whole life, but how has music gotten you through a really hard time in your life?
Oh, I'm grateful that I learned how to play the guitar because just being human on this planet, life can be very challenging at times. And I remember I was probably looking through some magazine at the laundromat, killing time, and they had like a stress test in the magazine, and like moving is a big stressor, relationships are a stressor, work, all this stuff. And I remember looking at all the little checklists, and every time something stressful came up in my life, I would just pick up my guitar. And so my music and my guitar is also my therapy. Yeah.
That's great, yeah. Why did you decide to incorporate music into your art classes?
I think it goes perfectly with being artistic. I think that also it's fun for me to play a really, really eclectic, list of music with so many genres, and with Spotify Premium, which our family decided to get a few years ago. I'm like the I'll be the poster child for Spotify Premium.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest invention of
It
all
is.
time. Like you literally can think of a song, put it in the queue, and it's there. And because it was never that easy when I was growing up, it was an event
Yeah.
to find a song and be able to listen to it. Otherwise, we had country music radio, we had pop music radio, and rock music radio. But it was never on our timeline. So I love if students request songs. I just put it in the queue. I'm like a DJ.
Yeah.
I have requested so many songs.
Yeah, I even have an Alina set list in my Spotify Premium. It's Alina songs.
That's so funny. I remember sitting in class and a song would turn on and be like, what Mr. Totten know about this song? Because it would be like a new trending song and I'd be like jamming out.
Yeah. Well, plus there's the radio feature. And so usually every day, I don't know, it's very spontaneous. And I'll be like, okay, we're going to go with Peaceful, Easy Feeling radio today. But as long as Alina was in the class, it was frequently on Alina songs. But they're all good stuff.
Yes.
And I would learn it myself then. I would grow. Like, I never knew about Zach Bryan. I never knew about Megan Maroney. None of those people were in my wheelhouse. But being in the art room, everybody's in my wheelhouse because the students bring it to me.
Yeah.
Well, an iconic component of your teaching are your famous Totten Tune Thursdays. Will you explain what it is and why you decided to start it?
Yes. The story goes back to an 8th grade art class I had at MICMS. It was my 3rd year at MICMS, and I had an 8th grade art class with every challenging student all crammed into the same class. Mostly boys, and mostly boys that didn't want to be in art class. They were, ADHD, like off the charts. And I couldn't get them to calm down. I tried every trick in the book. And I thought to myself, they don't know what etiquette is. They just don't have any idea. They were just wild animals. So I thought, what if I was to sing a song to them and teach them what etiquette is? And for 3 minutes, they would be forced to listen and stop being an animal for 3 minutes. And it was such a warmly received thing. And there's hardly a Thursday I have missed, like due to circumstances, but
of course.
Yeah. And Alina, oh my goodness, one of the most beautiful voices on the planet.
So we know that you are a big fan of rock and roll, and so much so that you've decided to start your own rock band here at MIA. So there was no band before you arrived at MIA. So why did you decide to start one?
I had a student in my first mentoring, Jacob Hubbard.
We know who he is.
Yeah.
You know Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob. And he and I just totally clicked. And I loved his passion for music and singing. And I was like, why don't we do it? Why don't we get something together? And then there were other students. We had Brady Graham on guitar in the mentoring. And all of a sudden, just very organically, we were getting together after school every day.
Nice.
Well, to close this off, I want to ask how you intend to continue to spread your love of music to others.
I'm just going to keep being who I am. I don't think real hard about any of this because it just kind of defines me. Like if someone was to say, describe Mr. Totten to someone else, probably within the first couple sentences, oh, and he plays guitar. So it's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep being who I am.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Raise Wrapped. Again, I'm Lola Green, the editor-in-chief.
And I'm Alina, the managing editor. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again in the next one. Peace.